Alright, it's election day. And maybe I should start my truck and get my flag out of the tree here. We lost it sometime this summer. It took me weeks to actually find it when the leaves are on the tree. It was really hard to see. But clearly it's easy now. Getting climbed the pine tree trying to get it out, but it's pretty much stuck up in there, and you need something stable. You're probably 30, 40 feet in the air, probably. Yeah, no, probably more than that. That's 110 feet up there where it came from. So, yeah. Anyways, maybe I'll get that down today finally. Being election day, it might be a good day to throw the flag back up there. The rest of this video is going to be, I made like 3 videos talking about my election thoughts, which I don't necessarily want to make too big of a deal on my political beliefs for my YouTube channel, but I do strongly believe one side's going to be better than the other this election round, so I guess it's probably too late to change anybody's mind, not to necessarily want to do that. And yeah, watch as much or as little as you want. I'm out for now. Hey, it's Brad, Jack of all Ventures, Master None, still better than Master One, and today is November 5th, 2024, Election Day. I guess I'm going to talk a little bit about politics, as I do take it as a little bit of sport, and kind of pay attention to the presidential race anyways, and it's what's the big news of today. Is it going to be Donald Trump or Kamala Harris? And it's become an interesting battle. I guess I don't want to necessarily talk about one particular candidate. I think it's probably be obvious which one I support if you listen to this, or not necessarily support, which one I think will do a better job. But the problem I see with politics is it's gotten to be such a business and pulled to the extremes that it's starting to be really bad for the country. Obama, I think he won pretty much comfortably and had more support than anybody else. But at that point, the Democratic Party tried to push Hillary Clinton on the public. That's my opinion there. And the public fought back collectively and hired an asshole in her place. And it kind of caught the media and everybody by surprise. It caught me by surprise because, in all honesty, I went into the ballot box not knowing or planning on voting for Hillary and changing my mind last minute because the media told me that she was going to win anyway. And I was like, well, I'm going to cast a protest ballot for this idiot, Donald Trump. And I didn't really want him to win. And that was a very interesting night that I remember well, that actually I need to take and get some video, try to get some old video from that and do a video on Melania's reaction. I kind of think it surprised the hell out of her too. Like at 2 a.m, but I just remember being up all night that night because it was just like the craziest swing that no one expected. And I think it really caught Melania off guard too. And she's like, "You won, you idiot! I can't believe this. Now I got to go live in the White House and I got to move out of New York City." And I mean, it actually probably was a step backwards for Trump as far as, you know. I mean, he didn't need the job for the money. That's for damn sure. So anyways, after that, I think the response from the Democrats was so negative. And then I kind of watched in horror too, but it only took me 2-3 months of watching Trump be president to realize it wasn't that bad of a decision to put him in. And he was doing an okay job. The world wasn't coming into an end. Kind of how I felt like it was when I found out that he was going to be president. And then I watched how the Democrats responded to him. They did not accept his victory graciously at all. So, yeah, I mean, if you look at it objectively, what happened, I mean, they were throwing protests and all this, and yeah, it wasn't probably as bad as 2020. I mean, clearly the January 6th Capitol riot was a little bit over the top compared to 2016, what the Democrats did in 2016, but we're definitely on an uptrend of craziness and violence after election results, and you can blame it all on Trump, but you can also blame it on the reaction of Trump too, and the dynamic that's playing out is pretty scary. So I guess mostly what I want to say in this video is you got to pay attention to what is really happening in the middle and not on the extremes. Both sides are playing some pretty stupid games with your trust and what you should believe, and that the world's going to come to an end if their candidate don't win. And that's just not true. I mean, it wasn't true in 2016 when Trump won. We actually had 4 years that were pretty entertaining. Instead of actually going to war, we got name-calling contests with Little Rocket Man and stuff like that. And was there any war? No. Um, so, I mean, Trump actually planned a departure from Afghanistan to get us out of policing something we had no business policing. And unfortunately, he didn't win 2020, and the pullout would have been really interesting to see the pullout had he been president. I mean, there's no way to rewind history and hit play with a different scenario. And if he would have won, I really would like to see where the world would be today. But yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I actually think that he should win a landslide, and here's why I think that. And again, social media has changed the world and everything else. I mean, before we used to have the TV telling us everything. Like back in the 80s and 90s, TV actually reported a little bit more factual stuff, and then it slowly became more and more biased, and now it's pretty extremely biased. And I think the people that still watch the regular TV hate Donald Trump, and that's by design, because the media does give him more negative stories and everything else and paint him in a bad picture. And when he calls them out on that, then they call him out as an asshole for calling them out on what they're actually doing. So I don't know who's the bigger jerk in that scenario. I think I got my opinion again. So yeah, why I think Trump should win a landslide this time is if you look at the flippers, the people who flip for Harris are pretty much like Dick Cheney and people I never respected on the Republican side anyways. And then you got the flippers for Donald Trump are quality people like Tulsi Gabbard. That if she would have been, I would have loved to seen her as the first woman president. I mean, I would have voted for her in 2020. I would have had to think about it if she was going to be vice president to Biden. But when they picked Harris, I made an easy decision for me. Which unfortunately, it's one thing I want to point out here too, is like when I'm talking about this stuff, I'm not really completely in the support of Donald Trump. I just feel like he's the lesser of the two problems. And anyways, it seems like there's a lot of people saying this. I watch Dave Rubin quite a bit, and I've been following a few other YouTubers like Lex Friedman and Tom Bilyeu. I just heard of him like within the last week, and then I look at these guys and they got like over 4 million subscribers. You got Joe Rogan. He's finally come out in support of Trump, kind of. I mean, these are all people that were not for Trump 4 years ago. Elon Musk, huge. He is definitely all in on Trump. He voted for Biden in 2020. So I mean, people that are changing a lot, and it was close back then. So what's it going to be this time? I think it's too big to rig. Trump should win in a landslide. However, we've had 4 years of, as much as I don't agree, as much as I don't agree with the extreme preaching of how the immigrants are destroying our country. I believe there's some middle ground and there is a problem, but it's not that bad. But it could, if they do vote Democrats, which they probably do, because they've been allowed in with less scrutiny. And that's where the real immigration problem is. It's not with eating dogs and cats and all that other stupid stuff that Donald says. But he does bring a national attention to it, so that's part of what they do. As long as I'm going this way, we got a good shadow picture. I don't know what else. I guess that's my prediction. It's gonna be too big to rig, and hopefully we'll know by the end of the night that we won. He won. And I'm trying to think of some of the good Tulsi Gabbard stuff, and I'll put a couple links to the better podcasts that I've watched in the last couple of days. That's the one thing I want to talk about a little bit too is so we got the podcasters that I actually like Lex Friedman and Tom Bilyeu that I just seen, and I can't think of a couple others, but like Jordan Peterson, and you gotta watch Bill Maher's coming around, realizing there's a lot of ridiculousness coming out, and let's see what else. But I only know two on the left. That's David Pakman and Destiny, and I've watched a couple things they've done because I kind of want to try to understand their perspective and feel what's going on with them. So I watched them on, especially Tom Bilyeu had both of them on recently, and that was very informative for me. I mean, it helped solidify my decision just listening to the other side talking irrational arguments that they make in my mind anyways. So I don't know. Cross my fingers, seeing what happens today. And I guess we'll see at the end of the day. I'm out for now. All right, yeah. As soon as all I had to do is hit stop, and I remember several other things I was thinking of. Um, I used to always watch the Daily Show and the Colbert Report back in the 90s, and I don't know when it actually stopped. Probably all the way through 2000. Yeah, actually all the way. Pretty sure it was 2010 when Jon Stewart and Stephen Colbert had rally to restore sanity in Washington D.C. And it's like I looked it up recently. Hopefully the numbers are relatively accurate. The longer it goes from me actually looking at numbers, the less likely they are to be accurate. But it seems like there's over 200,000 people that went for that. Me and my girlfriend, maybe fiance at that point, yeah, probably fiance, went and experienced it. And I mean, it was just amazing being with that many people. And I was really supporting what Jon Stewart and then Stephen Colbert were doing. And just remember being in that many people. And one thing I thought about was January 6th. That's the only time I really remember being in a big group of people in Washington, D.C. And I was like, if that group of people were going in the Capitol, I would have followed, for sure. I wouldn't have been violent or anything, but I would have been following the crowd, checking it out. And so then recently I've tried to get actual numbers on January 6th. And if you look back through my videos, I did go see one of the J6ers before he was being prosecuted or given a sentence or whatever. He did a little public meeting where he got to talk about his situation and why he's being prosecuted and everything else. So, but I guess there was about 2,500 people, which is only like 1% of the people that were in our group for the Jon Stewart rally. So like 1 out of 100 of us that were in the Jon Stewart rally would have actually went into the Capitol, assuming that there was 200,000 people for the J6 thing in the first place. And I don't know how many people didn't go in. It's a number that I don't know if anybody really knows, and it's part of the problem with trying to figure out what facts are anymore. There's a lot of different numbers being thrown around, but I'm sure it wasn't anywhere close to 200,000. I think there would have been more people in the Capitol if that was the case. I could be wrong there too, but really just don't want to see the violence. I don't see more violence. Whatever happens today, hopefully the country can accept it this time. Because the last two we haven't, clearly. The other thing that I was really going, last night, Jon Stewart, or Daily Show thing on YouTube, his YouTube channel just ran stuff that's been going on all year. So it gave a pretty good history, and it's definitely left-leaning. I've lost a fair amount of respect for him as I've moved to a little right of center. I think he pushes a little bit more of the left propaganda, or at least that I believe is propaganda. More of the left talking points than he used to, but maybe he always did, and I was just on his side. That's something that I try to objectively analyze, and it's almost impossible to really be objective. But even watching his stuff, I still think, watching the left-leaning Daily Show stuff, I still think the obvious decision is to go Trump. Just all the stuff around Harris being put in the spot. I mean, yeah, that's where I want to go to. Biden pulling out and Harris going in. And this became pretty clear while I was watching the Daily Show stuff of, the last year. When the debate where he looked like a fool, and then his speech when he came out to support Harris. I mean, you see two different Bidens. Like, it's so extreme difference that, people can have a bad day, but it's more likely they have a bad day if they're doing it on purpose. I think he blew the debate. There's even something about Trump kind of saying that he should throw the debate. And I think they were trying to do their political games and project what would be better or worse if Trump should easily beat Biden in the debate. I think they knew the Democrat plan was to pull Biden and put Harris in. And if that's all per plan, I mean, that's not democracy. They're doing what they did last time. They tried to force Hillary in 2016 and they lost. Now they're trying to force Harris, which is significantly worse than Hillary in my opinion. One of my biggest fears when Biden got elected was that something would happen to him and she would end up being our president. Now somehow she might actually get elected into there. That's like House of Card games. It really is. And again, if you're trying to pick the better or the worst, you can't let those kind of games play out. I mean, it's not That's not really looking for the will of the people. That's people playing games and pulling your puppet strings. So I think enough of the public can see it, I hope. I know more and more people are seeing it every day. My good friends, I had a vegan posse, Jen Hawk and Chrissy Benson. They talk about it some. I mean they're just another group of people that move from the left to the right when they watch what the left has been doing. And so, yep, I think it's too big to rig this time. I think he's going to win in a landslide. I think he's going to win the popular vote this time, nothing else. Democrats might have figured out the game that he figured out first about playing electoral college stuff. And, yep, I guess we'll see. All right, out for now this time. All right, I got more. Oh, shoot, hopefully I don't lose it out of my mind already, but... All right, I lost it. Dang it. Here's the trick of these guys that really do a lot of talking is this: stay on topic and not lose your thought off on that tangent. I mean, big reasons why I think it's going to be better for the country if Trump wins. Oh, what was it? What was it? I mean, definitely being supported by Tulsi Jr. and Elon and other people. It's like he's a jerk, but that's it. If you look at the actions speak louder than words. Both sides say that the ones that threaten the democracy because they're going after their political opponents. Well, Trump does a lot of talk and not a lot of action, and on things that should be more talk than action. I mean, I think he is action on stuff that should be action, and that's an important distinction. It matters. I mean, 2016, the big thing was lock up Hillary, put her in jail. And he won, became president. And what did he do? He tried to put Hillary in jail? No. Maybe that's because he didn't have a chance of doing it anyways. I don't know. But maybe not. I mean, but you look at what the Democrats are doing. They're trying to put him in jail. And if you actually look at the cases, he's in trouble for. And that's another big thing that I picked up on watching the Daily Show. The recap of all the year stuff and how Jon Stewart is, he shows his disdain for Trump in support of the court cases against him. And most of the court cases are pretty damn frivolous. There's stuff that it's really just, you can tell it's political prosecution because, they want to put him away. And, I mean, who cares how he's already used to be enough that, you slept with a stripper or whatever. That used to be enough to get you politically, in trouble. But, Trump somehow got through that. Now they want to prosecute him on how he recorded a transaction in his books, on how he paid her off, which is, I don't know, just kind of insanity. And it's like, it just shows that they're looking for anything they can do to take him down. And that's to me is how you know who's the worst of the bad. And if you watch Trump talk about, not going after Hillary, he kind of like it's political theater. Yeah, I made a show, but I don't really want to see her go to jail. And so, yeah, actions. When the actions and the words align, look at whether they should or not. Trump says he wanted to close the border, and his actions were trying to close the border. Trump said he wanted to put Hillary in jail. She really don't want to put. I mean, I don't want to live in a country where the leaders can't try to be leaders because their opponents, if they lose, are going to put them in jail. I mean, that's just not what you want. And did he take any action on that? No. So, yeah, it's more of my thoughts, and I think I'm done. I'm almost home anyways, so out for now.